mille fleurs. And he goes, no, 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 no. Mille fleurs. So finally, after about 3 or 4 of those, I said, okay, buddy, say 1,000 flowers. If you know anything about the French accent, it just comes out, 1,000 flowers. So I said, no, 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 no. So one of the things we tell people about this pool is we talk about the tiles from Murano, Italy, the gold is inlaid into the glass. We talk about how long it took to create it. It's just a magnificent place. And it's even more magnificent at night. As you might imagine, those are alabaster shades on those lamps. And we had this thing in parks where we try to invent a central idea, we call it a theme, onto which you could kind of hang all the other information. So we usually like to try to make a theme statement at the beginning of the tour, and then support it with our stories, and reiterate the theme during the middle somewhere, and then at the end we repeat that. And so we're doing a night tour, and I'd never done a night tour before, and I was thinking, what kind of a theme can I give that's different from a daytime tour, right? It's got to be more original. So I started thinking about the surface of this pool being like glass, like a stillness, the beauty of it, the quiet in that room. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to connect this to the pool and get it to those people at the same time. So I bent over the rail, and I said, this was something I said at the beginning of the tour, but it came out really great at the end. I disturbed the surface of the water like that, caused a ripple to go across. And the ripple eventually touched every person on the edge of the pool. And I said, the lives and the stories of the past still affect us all like ripples in a pond, right?
Very nice.
It was shameless, ladies and gentlemen. Shameless, shameless. The shameless part of all of that, really, is a personal story. Because when I got up into the Gothic suite where Hearst and Marion Davies shared quarters, I don't know if you know about Marion Davies, you know, sort of a semi-scandalous situation. Marion Davies was donating heavily to the UCLA Children's Hospital Fund, and she did a lot of charity work. So when people started to disparage Marion and her relationship with Hearst, I would bring up the positive side of Marion, you know, just for the sake of argument. And so I would tell this story. I said, back in 1954, a young couple living in Long Beach, California, had a 3-year-old child that needed open heart surgery. And it was only the second time in California where this surgery could be performed. And Marion Davies Children's Hospital Fund actually paid for that child's surgery. And then I said, that child stands before you now, pointing to me. Because I was that 3-year-old boy. And Marion Davies, essentially, her generosity, basically overwrote, my life. She's the reason why I'm alive in a certain kind of disconnected way. And so when I did the pond thing at the end, there wasn't a dry eye. And then I began to think, you know what, this is cheap. This is really cheap. Because this has nothing to do with Hearst Castle. It's all about me. And I always, it just it ticked me off when I heard other people do that. And so I stopped doing it because I thought it was just too cheesy. Yeah. So now, the other guys on the hilltop started telling guidisms about how Marion saved the life of one of our guides. That's another reason for stopping, right? Now, every now and then we do a special event. And special events were about, they were check writing ceremonies is what they were. outdoor. They could get some. They do an outdoor tea or a cocktail party on one of the terraces at night, and then all these high rollers would write checks, and so it was my job. My very first special event was to escort these very wealthy guests to the restrooms. What a glamorous thing to do. And so the restrooms were located up at the top of these stairs, and then in the right there you see, these are actually the pool dressing rooms, the outdoor pool dressing rooms, and they had a restroom in there. And so one of my, the first person I took up there was Huell Hauser.
Oh.
And so we're talking, and he's chatting with me, and he goes, "So who are you?" And I told him my name, and I said, "I like your stuff, Mr. Hauser, that's great." And he, and used the restroom, he came back out. Probably together for a total of 5 minutes. So the next time I meet Huell Hauser, he's at the pool being interviewed here with George Carter, one of my good friends. And he sees me there, and he goes, this is months later, if not years, and he looks up and he goes, "Michael, it's nice to see you." And he does that Huell Hauser thing. And I said, "Man, that's amazing. We were together for 5 minutes, he remembered my name." So I never forgot that this guy was really together. Then, just about this time, I get another promotion. I have an opportunity to stop being part-time. Now I'm going to be full-time. And if I interviewed at this job, they promised me a full-time job. If I accepted it, I asked my wife, "Are you willing to move to Sacramento?" She said, "Sure. The kids are grown. Not your favorite place. Sacramento is not your favorite place."
It is not the favorite place.
Yeah, and if you've been there, you probably understand the climate is not ideal. It is a busy place. But I got to work with the State Capitol Museum, and my job was to coordinate tours for the governor's office, for constituents of the members, and for the school programs and so on. So that was a lot of fun. And I got a promotion, and I got full-time job, yay! And the night before my first day at work, a semi-truck hits the building. So we all move out, and because the fire suppression system, the sprinklers, turned on because there was a fire caused there, and it flooded the basement tour office. So we moved all of our stuff out to the south lawn and in modular buildings, and then we worked there for several months. This is the crew at the State Capitol Museum. They were a great bunch. And I am, let me see, second from the right. So you can see I'm starting to lose my hair. And guess who shows up there? So this is several years later, and Huell Hauser comes to the State Capitol, and he comes into the